Well, hello out there, doll fans, and welcome to my channel where I sit and talk about, well, dolls. We've got Barbie, and Illy, and Monster High, and Disney princesses. You get the point. Must I carry on? My name is Daniel, and I am the Barbie book boy. I am so excited because today I get to unbox the brand spanking new 2026 Disney Princess Sparkling Princess Ariel doll. And I'm a little bummed that she didn't make it in time for Mermay, but I ordered her from Amazon UK, so it took a little longer for her to get here than expected. But you know what? She's here now. And the truth is, when it comes to Ariel, any video I do is like 37 years in the making. Because The Little Mermaid is the very first movie that I can ever remember seeing in movie theaters when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And it's because of Ariel specifically that I have had a lifelong obsession with dolls. And this singing little songstress of a siren is hitting all the right notes for me. She's part of a new collection that includes Rapunzel, Jasmine, Cinderella, and Belle. And I don't know that I'm going to complete this entire line, but I've definitely got my eyes on Rapunzel. I think maybe I want her. And you know what, with that, now it's time. So let's dive right in. Starting with her window box where we can see that Ariel is giving this like fancy under the sea mermaid pose with her hand caught in her hair, like a turtle in a fishing net. I'm a little concerned about this hair. It looks like it's basically glued solid, which surprises me for a Playline doll. They usually only bust out the industrial horse glue for the collector dolls. We'll see. I'm also worried about her tail fins. It's got some like embellishment here, and I don't like a lot of embellishment on my mermaid fins. You know what, we'll get into all that when I unbox her. You can see that the inside of her box is just a simple pink background card with some bubbles and aquatic flowers. As for the rest of her box, it's kind of this jewel shape. It's got these beautiful seafoam green tones. You can see her name here and here. And then the side has all these thematic embellishments. There's the flower that's like in her hair during the under the sea scene. It's got the little seahorse guy. It's got the dingle hopper. There's another little seahorse guy over here. I think that's supposed to be the seahorse Harold. Remember, it's in the first movie, I think, when he's introducing Sebastian at the concert in the beginning. On the back, it's got this blurb here that I'm not going to read out loud, so if you want to read it for yourself, just go ahead and pause right here. And it's also got this beautiful illustration of Ariel in her sparkling princess form. Okay, that's enough box talk. Let's fish this little beauty out and see what she knows. I think maybe I've told this story on my channel before, but it bears repeating. So even at this age, I have a very vivid memory of seeing this movie in theaters as a kid. And at the time, I didn't actually know how movie theaters worked. I thought it worked like it did when we were at home, where if we wanted to watch a movie, then we all had to agree. And no one ever agreed with my pick, so I never got to watch the movie that I wanted to watch. And so when we were standing in line at the movie theater to see this movie, I thought that it worked the same. I thought that when the people were walking up to the counter and saying, "2 for the Little Mermaid, please," I didn't realize that they were buying a ticket for that specific movie. I thought that was them casting their vote. So there I was, standing in line at like 5 years old, trying to pay attention to every single person who's going through that line and like trying to keep a mental tally of how many people said The Little Mermaid and how many people said like a different movie. And I was asking the people in line around me, like, "What movie are you here to see?" And I was driving everybody crazy, including the woman who used to pretend to be my mother. She abandoned me, but it's fine. I remember her telling me like, "Daniel, stop. You're seeing The Little Mermaid. Cut it out." But I was like, no. I know how this works. And every time we all have to agree on the movie at home, I never win. So I'm not falling for it, lady. So there we were, finally in our seats, and we're sitting there through the previews, and I'm just getting more and more paranoid that it's going to be the wrong movie. I'm like squirming in my seat until finally the movie started up and those iconic opening credits start rolling across the screen. And I was like, yes, finally, I'm gonna get to see the movie that I want to see. That theater full of patrons had come through for me. Look, I wasn't a super bright kid, okay? Anyway, here she is, the lady who started it all. And at first glance, she is absolutely stunning. But I was right about the hair. It is glued to beyond an inch of her little life. And because of that, it just doesn't flow the way mermaid hair should flow. It's like hard as a rock down here. So I'm more than likely gonna be washing it and maybe giving it a boil rinse to get all that gunk out. But the color is beautiful. It's super, super vibrant. So they got the red perfect. And it's a good length. You can see that it comes like right below her little mer bottom, so there's a lot to work with. As for her face sculpt, Mattel has a long history of getting the face sculpts right on these Disney princesses, and this gal here is absolutely no exception. It's beautiful. And look at her screening. I love her screening. I love the shape of these eyes. I love how clear and vibrant and crisp it is. I really hope it's coming up on camera because these eyes are so beautiful and just bright blue, clear as glass. And the lips on her open mouth smile are perfectly lined. It's just gorgeous. I hope it's showing up on camera, but if you look at her eyelids, this being a sparkle princess doll, you can see that she's got just the slightest bit of eyeshadow shimmer. As for her outfit, she's got her trusty purple clamshell bikini top with these purple jellyfish armbands, and you can see they just slide right off. See, she's got her little jellyfish here. Let's go ahead and take the other one off too so we can get more of a clear view of just the doll herself. Now, her tail is an absolute stunner. She's got her top fin here, and then the tail is this glittery, shimmery pattern that goes all the way down to her fins. Her tail fins are this plasticky, padded material almost. On the front, she's got these little mesh fins here, and then on the back, she also has these like mesh fin, I don't know, I guess they would be like mesh fin covers, I guess. Now, if you've seen my videos, you know how particular I am about mermaid tail fins. So let's see if they pass my air swim test of mermaid manageability. So when she's upright, they don't really, if you go slow, they're like manageable. You can make them like flap manageably. But then if you turn her so that she's swimming like she's supposed to, they just kind of flop there. So that if you try to make her swim, you can see they just flop around. They're not very uniform. They're pretty and I love the shape. I actually like this shape quite a bit, but they just don't flop. Let me show you what I mean. When it comes to mermaid dolls, I prefer something more like this, so that when you air swim, it has good movement like that, like a nice, good fluid movement, so that when she's swimming on by, it just looks so much more satisfying. When I hold her out to the side like that, they're not so heavy and loose that they flop down, but they're not so stiff like molded plastic that they don't move at all. For me, this is kind of the perfect mermaid movement. It's so satisfying, I don't want to stop playing. But this gal doesn't do that, so she's not a great gal to actually play mermaids with. She's just going to look pretty posing on a shelf. But the tail is just one solid piece. It doesn't have any Velcro on the back or anything, so it just slips off like that. And so here she is without her tail, and let's take advantage of her human form to go over her articulation. She's got head, shoulders that go back and forth and out, elbows, wrists, hips that go back and forth and sort of out a little bit. Knees, no ankles, but that's okay because she's a mermaid. She's going to be in her tail most of the time anyway, so really hip and knees is more important when wearing a mermaid tail. And you know what? That's plenty of articulation for me. And you know what? Now I think I want to go deal with this hair. So I'm going to step aside. I'm going to go wash it, give it a conditioning, a boil rinse, maybe put some hair oil in it. See if we can't get it a little more mermaidy and flowy, and I'll be right back. And we're back. And full disclosure, it is totally the next day. Okay, look, here's the thing. I had intended to set this hair in curlers and let it dry for several very many days, but that didn't happen. And I'll tell you why that didn't happen. Because as I was at the sink washing the glue out of her hair, I got a phone call, and it was one of those phone calls that lasted like 4.5 hours. By the way, Laura, if you're watching this is the doll I was working on while we were on the phone the other night. Anyway, so because I was on the phone so long, I didn't get around to setting her hair in curls. But here's what I did do. I washed the glue out of it using dish soap. I ran some cream rinse through it, just some hair conditioner. I gave it a boil rinse. I added some hair oil, and then I let it dry. And as you can see, her hair is absolutely beautiful. Now, I realize it looks a bit wet and greasy, and let me tell you why. So I did put hair oil in this gal's hair, and I often do that with my doll's hair because I live in a very dry, desert, arid climate. And if I don't do this, their hair gets brittle and dry, and it breaks. And so even though her hair looks like wet and oily right now, where I live, within just a few short days. This will be like dried out and I'll have to like do it again. But still, she's feeling much better. This hair is much prettier than it was with all that glue and gunk in it. This is who she's meant to be as a person. She is meant to have long, beautiful, flowing hair, free from the cultural trap of glue and stifling submission. So there you have it. That's basically it for the 2026 Disney Princess Sparkling Princess Ariel doll. She's stunningly beautiful. She's a beautiful doll. I don't super love her tail fins because they got a little crazy with it. They did a little too much. It's a little too extra. And it doesn't quite work the way I like my mermaid tail fins to work. But aside from that, she's so beautiful that when she's posing on a stand on one of my shelves, she's gonna look gorgeous. I just won't be pulling her down and playing mermaids with her. She's just for looks. She's just a model. And from what I've seen of the rest of this sparkling princess line, it's so gorgeous. I hope they continue with it. I hope they do more releases. I hope they do the entire Disney Royal Court in this style and theme. I wouldn't mind having all of them. Disney, make that happen, because I really think you might be onto something here. All right, y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I liberated yet another plastic pal from her cardboard cage. And if you're still here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave some love in the comments for the Disney Princess Sparkling Princess 2026 Ariel doll. What do you think of this line? Are you going to get one or all of them? Do you have a favorite? And be sure to stay tuned for more videos as I traverse a personal doll collecting journey in a terrifying world of grown-ups who don't play with dolls. Now, if you'll excuse us, Ariel and I have some harmonizing to do, and it isn't wise to keep a siren waiting. Bye!